Welcome, I'm Melissa Lieb, they call me Missy, from Ioka Valley Farm. I am Don's daughter-in-law, and this is Don Lieb.
Yeah.
And you are the second generation of the Lieb family to be here at Ioka Valley Farm in Hancock.
Correct. And so if we back up to the history part, 1936, my parents came over and bought this farm. It was considered a poor farm at the time. A couple of farms before it gone broke. Father was rather aggressive, and he managed to make it work. He milked cows. I think he was milking 12 cows at the time. They did a lot of forestry work, cutting firewood, shipping firewood over to Cheshire to Farnham lime kiln, which was part of the income to help them survive. They had 4 kids. I had 3 sisters. I was the only boy. Dorothy and Arch, Lois, and Ruth. By 1966, I managed to buy the farm from my parents. They went off and bought a store down in Steventown, and they wanted to run a store. So I bought it. The barn was an old, very outdated barn. Everything was in pretty bad shape. I tore that down, built a new barn, and continued to build everything that's here, actually, silos, everything. Just kept building. Then price of milk was not very well. My wife and I did a lot of legislative work down in Boston and stuff, and we actually managed to do something about the price of milk, but then the state got sued and we lost, and by then I'm getting a little discouraged with milking. Didn't like what I saw. We started planting Christmas trees in 1986. That was going to be my retirement. I had a cousin who wanted to get involved in it, so we planted Christmas trees. We planted some pumpkins, and I didn't expect them to sell. I wasn't used to people buying pumpkins, and sure enough, they sold. Well, then that expanded, and that really grew fast. We were the biggest pumpkin grower in the whole northern Berkshire, if not all of Berkshire, I don't know, but that looked too successful. Other farmers started doing the same thing, and then the stores started selling pumpkins. Competition brought us back down again, but that was okay. We're still doing it. It's not where we were. And then my son got old enough out of college and came back to the farm, but he wanted to work with maple syrup. So we built the beginning of a sugar house, and that started to grow. That looked pretty good. We're by then thinking that maybe these other ways of life were more productive and better than milking cows. So for the next few years, that was going through my mind, how do we eventually switch over? And by 96, we had it all together, converted the barn over into what we call Uncle Don's Barnyard, which is all farm entertainment. Turned what we're sitting in, which was my calf barn, into a pancake house. Turned the milking parlor into a commercial kitchen, and that's where we are now.
I joined in and started dating Rob, Don's son, back in 1989, so I witnessed the first fall with the pumpkin patch, where families had to carry their pumpkins back over to the stand to get weighed. And we were married in 1994, so being a part of the back scenes and behind the scenes and watching from the outside, the transition from watching the dairy herd get ready to leave to starting all the seasonal activities. And we sat down and we participated in the farm viability business class together, and we did a lot of pencil and paper work together to put a business plan on how to make the seasonal activities grow and also support us. In doing that, our goal was to sell our products retail and create a family experience for them. So many people were getting disjointed on where your products come from. Don and Judy did a lot of work hosting many groups on where milk came from and opened their parlor up for families to watch actual milking so they could learn and do that. And I truly believe, even though Judy said she would have been an extension agent if she didn't marry Don, I think she would have been a school teacher, because she really was heavy on educating everybody about what happens here, what's going on in the farming community. So with the pumpkin patch also came school groups during the week so that we could show children where pumpkins actually grow, do a trip over to the pumpkin patch, and always added in an educational lesson to go with their trip over here, which we still continue to do today. Christmas trees, we sold the first Christmas trees in 1994 and have continued to offer the cut your own and fresh cut Christmas trees. Our special event is the Breakfast with Santa that we host in this space the first weekend in December, again creating that family farm experience where they can come get a Christmas tree. Moving on into our maple season, the first maple trees were tapped in 1992, and that was a hired hand that suggested that Rob might have some fun tapping a tree and making maple syrup. Well, that fun led to pots and steam table pans being boiled in the shop, in the house, and all over the place the first year. And after that first year of finishing syrup in the house, I think Judy said no more boiling in the house, and they gave in and helped build that first part of that sugar house so he would have a spot to boil his sap in. And that season, the maple has gradually but continually grown every year. We are started with those 13 taps, and we're over 15,000 taps, with the most being over 20,000. So we've varied our tap year depending on leases and opportunities that we've had over the past. And with the maple syrup we make, it has forced us to do something with all the maple syrup. So we've worked hard at creating a lot of specialty products, from the maple coated nuts, the maple cream, the maple sugar. We even do a barbecue sauce. And lots of other little products that we've continued to do. And we continue to make Judy's jam from the fruits that we grow here on the farm, as well as other fruits we bring in that are locally, from our blueberries to the raspberries and currant bushes that are in the yard. Uncle Don's Barnyard started in the 1997, right when the cows left. We needed to definitely work on all the seasons to keep the farm flowing for throughout the year. And the petting and play area, again, I believe was Judy's heart and soul, and putting in all sorts of way to have educational activities interdispersed, all sorts of play activities with the farm animals, making it a really unique experience where families with children can come in and be with the farm animals, but yet have other experiences to augment that and just make it a day full of fun for the entire family. Now we call it our unplugged place, so you can come really enjoy the family and not have the electronics and the today's toys. You can go back to yesterday's toys.
We called it farm entertainment. We tried to do everything you would do on the farm, from slides, hay tunnels, and stuff like that.
So one of our biggest attractions is we have our sandbox in the barn is filled with corn instead of sand, and that is a great play space that seems to be a favorite spot. And then moving forward and looking forward to the future, I think the goal is to help the fourth generation get their feet on the ground and hopefully learn from all the hard work that's gone into where we've gotten to today, and see what their interests will be for tomorrow, to either make improvements and expansions or maybe twist and turn us in a little bit different direction. But it'll be up to them to help make that path forward.
Yeah.